All right, folks, getting a little bit of a late start, but we're here for everybody's favorite morning show, Wake Up and Barca. It's me, undefeated mustache John. Not a lot of Barcelona news to talk about, but we did have a match over the weekend. Nice little 3-0 victory. Depay is looking sharp, my friends, and he's wearing the number 11 kit. What does that mean for Dembele? I don't know. I do not know, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the topic that carries over to most of these shows these days, which is Antoine Griezmann and Coutinho are staying at Barcelona. Pjanic, Umtiti, and one or two others still might be out the door. Talks are that they might just release their contract completely. So we'll see. We'll dive into the news. We'll talk about transfers. And, of course, we're going to talk about USA beating Mexico last night to be the Gold Cup champions. Let's get this party started, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Good morning, Ayush, my Indian nephew, my nephew from overseas. Winston, good morning. Levi, hello, hello. I did not watch the Hearts game. No, I did not. But you know what game I did see, my friends? USA versus Mexico. I couldn't believe it myself. Could not believe it myself, to be fair. I really thought that, let me get my windows set up here. I really thought that USA was going to get just completely housed. I thought it was going to be 3-0 to Mexico if we were lucky. Mexico, aside from a couple of players that were left off, Chucky Lozano, that's the only one that I can really think of. Somebody tell me who else they were missing. They brought pretty much their best squad. I don't want to say it was their 100% best because I know Chucky Lozano is considered their best player. So it would be like if USA had all of their players except for Pulisic and maybe one others. USA, however, brought their C squad. Most of these guys that played in the Gold Cup final are not going to make the World Cup squad. 3, maybe 4 of them, if they're lucky, will get on that 23-man roster. Guys like Shaq Moore could make it. Busio could make it. The guy who scored the game-winning goal, Miles Robinson, he might make it. And then Matthew Hoppe, playing at Schalke right now, he could make it. Other than that, it was not our A team, but we did it. Here's the difference, folks. Here's the difference. For those of you that saw the match last night, what you saw in terms of the effort and the attitude and the output was a classic U.S. men's national team performance. We were missing that grit and that tenacity 4 years ago when we didn't make the World Cup. We had a generation coming up that thought they had already made it, had the swagger, but didn't have the output. You had an aging generation that thought that they had already put in the hard work and didn't have to do it anymore, that they'd already earned their spot in the World Cup. You combine those two bad attitudes and you don't make the World Cup. What we saw last night was a rejuvenation of the American spirit for the national team. I could not be more proud of the guys' effort. They won that because of their hard work and dedication and passion that they play with. Mexico was played off the pitch in terms of those characteristics. Mexico had, I think, something like over 65% of possession, and yet they could not find the back of the net. And it's not because they had an off night. USA won that match, hands down. So very excited for the future of the U.S. because most of those guys were under 23. So for the next 5 years, USA owns CONCACAF until further notice. Nations League champions, CONCACAF Gold Cup champions, you can't touch us. Mexico, get out of here. Jamaica, get out of here. Costa Rica, get out of here. El Salvador, get out of here. Canada, get out of here, eh? USA number 1, baby. Back on top. Back on top. America didn't. Well, there was a couple of big chances. Yes, we had one go off the post. Another one, Giassi Zardes was one-on-one with the keeper, missed it, but ended up being called offsides anyway. So can't really count that one. What shampoo do I use for my hair? What shampoo do I use? Something with Dove. Something with Dove. I forget. But I don't. I wash it every like 3 days. It's quite dirty right now, actually. I will probably be washing it later today. Appreciate the shout out, though. Appreciate the shout out. LeBeau, good morning. Good morning. Man, my eyes are having a hard time opening up today. Tata Martino, man. Yeah, it's a bummer. You know, I like Tata Martino, but he will probably be let go after losing 2 finals to USA. Those are the only 2 times that USA has ever beaten Mexico. No, 3 times. Yes, we beat Mexico in a final 3 times. Once in 2007 and then twice this summer. That's it. Nobody, good morning to you. I responded to the hair comment and didn't say good morning. Apologies. Referees in the house. How we doing? How we doing? The green shampoo thing. You talking about Irish Spring, Levi? Gotcha, bro. Gotcha. No, obviously not. Mexico should have been able to win that game. They, like I said, pretty much had their A team, and it did not come into fruition for them, unfortunately. Let's get a tab open. Let's see what's going on in the Barcelona world, because we did have a match over the weekend. Nice little friendly match. What do you guys think about Memphis Depay? I wasn't sure that he was going to be starting coming off, coming into his first season with us. However, given his performances over the last few matches, I don't know. That goal is pretty sick. I know it's not against top competition necessarily, but I like what I'm seeing from him. Playing on that left-hand side. And Ansu Fati still has not been featured. Let's start with that. Let's see if we can get an Ansu Fati update. Actually, I gotta move this real quick. One moment. Gotta fix this. Okay, there we go. I know you guys didn't even see that. That was a little back end thing. No worries. Display capture. Let's do Ansu Fati injury update, because I was seeing, this is a July 12th update, I was seeing that he was coming back for the season. However, my friends, if he's not featuring for any of these matches, then no, you're not going to show me notifications. Barcelona rising star Ansu Fati could miss the start of the 21-22 La Liga season. Fati missed the majority of the season last year. However, despite optimism for the summer return, Fati's recovery continues to be hit by issues. 18-year-old has set up a temporary basis in Madrid as he continues to work with a knee specialist. Blah, 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 blah. Fati returned to Catalonia to complete his mandatory preseason medical and PCR testing. According to Diario AS, the Spanish international will remain in Madrid until at least early August and will miss the 21-22 season kickoff. Poop, my friends. That's the first that I'm learning of this. Fati might be hanging out at the Olympics, but this report is saying that he's in Madrid. He's not playing for Spain, right? Am I wrong about this? Spain Olympic soccer team. Let's see what we got here. They in the semifinal? No, that's Japan, Spain. Here we go. Mingueza's on there. That's good to see. It's hilarious that everyone... So I didn't even realize that, you guys. I didn't realize that Oscar Mingueza was on the Olympic team as well. Everyone has been freaking out about Pedri playing too many games. You know who played just as many games, if not more? Oscar Mingueza. Well, I guess he didn't play in the Euros. That's the difference. All right. I retract my complaints. Eric Garcia, although he did not play really at all for Man City. Marco Correa. That's one that I wish we could have kept. Didn't happen, though. No big deal. So I'm going to say no. Just confirming. That was my suspicion, but just confirming he is not on the Spanish squad right now. What else we got? Umtiti and Pjanic. Braithwaite should be the next players to leave. I agree with you. Braithwaite might end up staying. He may end up staying along with Griezmann and Coutinho. I think now that we are less than 2 weeks away from the start of the season, I think Griezmann stays. I think Coutinho stays. It's interesting that we are going back to a 4-3-3. I really wanted Coutinho to have an opportunity to play in that 5 midfield that Ronald Koeman was using last year with 2 wide players and 3 across the midfield center line, but it ain't happening. Reports early on over the summer were that Laporta was going to force Koeman to go back to a 4-3-3. Seeing what we're seeing in these preseason matches, that seems to be accurate. Now, that doesn't mean that Koeman's going to stay in that formation the entire season. Who knows what's going to happen down the line if we get ourselves in another situation where we're down in, 11th place in La Liga and about to be knocked out of every tournament. Maybe he changed things up again. But for right now, we're going back to the classic Barcelona 4-3-3. Ansu Fati is going to be injured. I think that by default puts Depay on the left-hand side. Aguero has not really featured much. I think he did come on for one of the games. I could be wrong. But I don't think Aguero is going to be the regular starter. So I think Griezmann is going to be in that number 9 spot. And then, of course, Messi on the right-hand side. So Dembele injured, Ansu Fati injured. Get ready for that all season long. That actually doesn't leave us that many options now. When you really think about it, if Dembele is not an option and Ansu Fati is not an option, then our forwards are Braithwaite, Griezmann, Messi, Depay, and Demir, who I'm very impressed with Demir. I think Demir is going to be one very similar to what Pedri did last year, breaking through, overperforming from the expected expectations. The expected expectations. Yes, I did just say that. Outperforming the expectations is what I should say there, and breaking through and getting a little bit more time than what everyone was thinking. I did see Alex Gallardo loaned to Club Brugge. That's probably a good move. I don't think he was going to get into the midfield, given the fact that we now have enough right backs that Sergio Roberto will probably move back into the midfield. We're keeping Coutinho. We have Pedri. Who knows what's going to happen with Mariba? We'll check in on him. At this point, let him go. He hasn't proven himself enough, and I don't care. Put a buyback option if you want to. Get him out of here. Daniel, good morning to you. What else we got? Garcia looks dodgy. I have a suspicion he's actually going to end up playing center defensive mid for us. I think we're going to, especially now that we are sticking to the 4-3-3 lineup, which means we're going to go 2 center backs and 2 wing backs. I think that the center backs are going to be Araujo and Mingueza. I think Piqué will get plenty of time, but as he is aging, you got to kind of step to the side and let those younger guys have those experiences. So I think Mingueza and Araujo, and then behind him, Piqué and behind those two, Piqué and Langley. I think Eric Garcia moves into that defensive mid role. That's what I think happens. Minaj is 23. That's older than I thought. I forgot about Minaj. We'll see. I cool the hype on him is what I would say. That's what I would say. Ahmed, good morning, sir. Reflex, yes, I did. Welcome to the channel. I think this may be your first time, so good morning and welcome. I did watch that game. It was a late one for me, and I was kind of vegging out on the couch, so no live stream for it, but I was up, awake, excited, watched every minute of that match. Tremendous effort from the U.S. men's national team. Really earned it. Matt Turner, what an effort between the posts. Could not be beat. Big saves in the first half, and then defensively, USA really locked things down. Second half, no shots on goal for Mexico. Really shut things down. So very exciting. Very exciting for the future for U.S. men's national team. 4 years ago was some of our darkest times in terms of our sport for U.S. men's national team. But now we are really peaking at the right time heading into the World Cup qualifiers, which more big news, folks. I forget if I talked about it on this channel or not, but Cincinnati is going to be hosting USA versus Mexico World Cup qualifiers this November. I'm going to do everything I can to be in that stadium. I'm going to do everything I can to do a little live stream while I'm in there too, even if it's just some pregame stuff. We'll see what we can do. It'll be a good time. Garcia still at Olympics. That is what I'm seeing. Yeah, I haven't watched any of those matches, but from what I'm seeing on the rosters here, yes. Gavi seems really good, taking a spot over Ricky Puig. What's up, Robin? How we doing? Good morning to you. It's very likely. I don't know why Ronald Koeman does not like Ricky Puig. I mentioned in the last stream, I think it was, that Ricky Puig is a bit spastic. You know, he's pretty sporadic in his movements. Maybe Ronald Koeman doesn't really trust him in that way. But we'll see. I'm hoping that Coutinho actually stays healthy this season and gets more playing time. Because I've kind of given up on Ronald Koeman giving Ricky Puig time. Now, I'm not giving up on Ricky Puig. I'm giving up on Ronald Koeman giving him enough time to be impactful. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I want to see Garcia play with Barcelona and see what he does with our team. Unpopular opinion, but Craig Gordon is better than Ter Stegen. Don't know who Craig Gordon is. I'm assuming he's somebody plays for one of the clubs that you support. I'm going to see that as a troll, and I'm going to ignore it, my good friend Levi. Today is Emerson presentation. Didn't Emerson already get presented, or was that delayed? You sure, Emerson? I could have sworn Emerson was already presented. Let's actually spell Emerson Barcelona presentation. I could be wrong. But I thought it. I thinked it. I thinked it and I thunked it. No, I'm wrong. Okay. Very good. Emerson being presented at Barcelona. I love it. I really do think that we are going to see some Serginho Dest. Let's go Barcelona news, see what pops up. I think we're going to see Serginho Dest playing left back quite a few times this season, guys. I think Jordi Alba, his best days are behind him. We can say that. Jordi Alba's best days are behind him. And I think that with the coming in of Emerson, I think we're going to see Serginho Dest push on that left-hand side a little bit. He plays there occasionally for the U.S. men's national team because they have a lot more options at right back than they do at left back. And he looks very comfortable. He can play with his left foot, play with his right foot, so that means that he can cut inside, take some shots, get some crosses off, whatever he wants to do there. And he did. Dest played left back in that most recent game against Stuttgart. So let's see it, Let's see it happen. What else we got going on here? Who we got jumping in? Fabiani, good morning. Do you think we should let go of Mariba? At this point, I would. I would let him go just as a declaration of, hey, if you're not going to be dedicated to this club, i.e. what we just saw from Lionel Messi taking a 50% pay cut and other leaders at the club taking a significant pay cut, everybody else doing what they need to do, making the sacrifices so that this club can hit their objectives, and then Mariba's sitting there going, no, I want more money. Nah, bro. Nah, that is not the right attitude. I get it that he's young, but he did not prove himself in the way that I think he thinks he did last year. He had one significant goal. Other than that, he showed that he was a defensive liability, and he's promising in terms of on-the-ball skills and passing ability. That's it. Sell him. Sell him away. By all means, if he's not going to have the right attitude and he's not necessarily proven enough, let him go. We got other midfield options. We're not going to be relying on Mariba this year, so let him go. Absolutely let him go. What's up, Richard? How we doing? USA Kings of CONCACAF for the foreseeable future. That was our C squad. That was a bunch of young guys playing in the MLS. That wasn't even any of our European-based players except for one or two. Hoppy and Shaq Moore and Reggie Cannon. Excuse me. A couple others. But most of those guys, they play in the MLS. So we are kings of CONCACAF for years to come. Very exciting. Do I think Barcelona is going to win Champions League? Nah. Chima, hello, welcome. I believe this is also your first time. I would say no. Had we landed an elite center midfielder, someone in the world of, a Wijnaldum, a Renato Sanchez, if we would have landed one of those midfielders, I think we would have had a really good chance. But given the fact that we're still going in to this campaign with the same midfield that we had last year, I don't know. Because it means we're going to be relying on Busquets in the defensive mid role, and I just don't like it. I think the smarter move right now might be to have the young play defensive mid, have Pedri and Coutinho, or Pedri and Puig, or Pedri and Sergio Roberto, or Pedri and Demir. He can play some attacking mid. We're gonna have to figure something out. I just don't think that we can rely on Sergio Busquets in the midfield like we did last year. You saw it, he just doesn't have the pace to shut down the counterattack sideline to sideline, and that's the role that he's being asked to play. So we'll see. We shall see. Neto and Inaki Peña, who should be the second keeper if we didn't find a club for Neto? It'll be Neto if we don't find a club for him, but I would imagine we are going to find a club. Somebody will want him. I would think so, right? Somebody will want him. Mariba is annoying. I think the attitude that he's coming in with just is not good, friends. I just don't see it. Barcelona gave him until the 8th of August to give us his final decision. Good. Get it done. Move on. After Nico Gonzalez's performance, do you think we need a CDM? Yes, I do. One match is not going to make me feel confident in Nico Gonzalez. I think he's still probably one for the future, but I don't know. We'll see. I didn't watch him a lot at Barcelona B. I don't watch those matches very often, so we'll see. Talk to me in 6 months, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm very wrong. Chima, I hear you on thinking the problem is the defense because we give up goals. I've said this on the channel quite a few times, so I apologize for those that have heard this dozens of times at this point, but it doesn't come down to the back line. Barcelona gives up goals off of counterattacks. Counterattacks are stopped in the midfield by the defensive mids. When you have one defensive mid, that person has to be able to get sideline to sideline when that counterattack starts because the outlet could come from either side. Sergio Busquets does not have the pace to cover that. He has the intelligence and the positioning and the experience to make up for that lack of space 90% of the time. But when you go against the elite attacking forces, PSG, Bayern Munich, Man City, Dortmund, Chelsea, those clubs, they smoke us because we can't stop the bleeding from the midfield, and then they get numbers running at our back line, and of course they're going to give up goals. Now, everyone looks at the back line, everyone looks at Ter Stegen, and they don't realize that that is a symptom of the core problem, which is defense in the midfield. Thank you. Anyway, let's see here. Barcelona, read that. Excited for the U.S. men's national team future? 100%. I was not 4 years ago. I was cursing everybody wearing the red, white, and blue, but now I'm pretty excited about it. Look at you, Levi. Levi, you've come full circle, my man. I love it. You used to be probably the biggest Barcelona hater on this channel. 8 months ago? Now you're telling me to leave Busquets alone? I love it. I'm a huge Busquets fan. I love Sergio Busquets. Love him. Club legend. But it is what it is. CONCACAF is the region of Central. Oh, who did someone ask what CONCACAF was? I must have missed that. Did Messi sign? If he signed in 2026 or 2023? No, it is a yes, it's a 5-year deal. I don't think he's put pen to paper yet. We still have to clear finances with La Liga. However, he is signing a 5-year deal, which is pretty interesting. But I've said for years now that Lionel Messi, as he loses a little bit of pace, loses a step or two on the attack, he'll just drop further back into the midfield. Right now, Lionel Messi could play the Xavi and Iniesta role for the next 5, 6, 7 years. His positioning, his ball control, his passing, his vision, amazing. And he's still faster than Xavi and Iniesta were at that age. So no reason not to have Lionel Messi sign that contract. He could play as a drifting number 10 for his entire life and not have any defensive responsibility and still be impactful. So that's what I'm looking at. What else we got going on in the chat? Busquets does care about Barcelona, unlike Mariba. Fair enough, Levi. Fair enough. PSG lost to Lille yesterday in the Super Cup. I did not see that. That's hilarious. Did Tim Weah play at all? Let's check that out real quick. PSG versus Lille. Tim Weah, the young American. Lineups. I just want to see if he actually got in at all. Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. Oh, Tim Weah did get on the pitch. Yay. Fantastic. So another trophy winner starting things off right for the U.S. men's national team. Here we go. Tim Weah winning the cup, baby. What else? We were about to bring up something else. Ayush, I did I miss something? I hope you're feeling okay. Janice is almost leaving. Pjanic. Okay. I was like, who the hell's Janice? Pjanic is almost leaving. What's the reports? Where's he going? Is he just getting cut? Pjanic news. Ovi, good morning, good morning. How we doing? Richard says, not going to lie, used to be a Real Madrid fan because the first game I went to in person was Real Madrid preseason. It happens, Richard. You know, you can only know the world that you're introduced to. However, I'm glad you're here. Glad you outgrew that. We've all been there. I actually started out, who was my first club? Tell you what, it was close. I could have been a Madrid fan because starting out, before I was a Barcelona fan, I was a David Beckham fan. I liked him at United, but I didn't watch a lot of European soccer. I was very young. Then when he switched over to Madrid, I didn't know about Barcelona and Real Madrid and these clubs yet. So that was a close one. That was a near miss, my friends. Chima, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that we don't have any chance of winning Champions League. We have Lionel Messi at the club. I just don't think that our midfield is quite sharp enough to deal with it. Do we have a puncher's chance? Sure. But I think we are leaps and bounds away from, the top 5 clubs in the world right now. Anyway, Pjanic receives a boost and Miralem Pjanic return to Juventus. Let's go. Get him back there. That would be great. Ahmed, I'll check it out at some point when I am on my phone, my friend. Appreciate the message and good morning to you. You can take the man out of the Spurs, but you can't take the Spurs out of the man. Who are you referring to, Vipula? Are you talking about Juventus and Pjanic? What's up, How To Vids? Good morning, good morning. Yes, I do. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. At this point, I would. Just for his attitude alone and not being willing to make the sacrifice. Listen, contracts, you will earn more contracts in the future. You can renegotiate in the future. Now is not the time to be squeezing the club for everything that you can get. That's really what it is. Messi took over a 50% pay cut. Plenty of the leaders at Barcelona have taken pay cuts. You got to do better. Barcelona trying to offload multiple big names, yada, yada, yada. Coutinho, Griezmann, Lenglet, Umtiti, Pjanic. Lenglet's not going anywhere. That's not happening. Busquets, Roberto Alba. Oh, he's naming all the people who took wage cuts. Okay, that's fine. These articles suck. I don't even know why I clicked on this. You can get everything that you need to know just from reading the headlines on most of these. Pjanic looking like he's going to Juventus. I love it. I'll take that. I'll take that all day long. Let's see. How did I get the opportunity to be the ball boy during those games here? You talking about in America when it was Chelsea versus Roma? It was my high school team. So one of the coaches there was like, "Hey, Chelsea's gonna be playing Roma, and they're doing a camp during the week leading up to that match." This was in 2020. This was in 2005. So went to the camp. One of my friends won some little challenge and got selected as a ball boy. When we showed up to the match at the gate, the guy was like, "Hey, there was other people who were supposed to be ball boys and they didn't show up. Do you guys want to do it?" I said, "Hell yes." So me and my 4 friends all got to go to the locker rooms, meet Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, John Terry, Damien Duff, a young Iron Robben. Over on Roma, it was Francesco Totti. I don't remember any of the other names from Roma, I don't think. But back on Chelsea, Claude Makelele, like big name players. We got to get their autographs, walk out of the tunnel. So I always had a little bit of a connection to Chelsea. And now with Christian Pulisic being one of the faces of the Blues, you're going to see me watching some of those matches this year for sure. It's happening. It's happening. Oh, Vipula, sorry, catching up on the chat. You were talking about Pochettino. I get it. Referee says it's weird that Saul didn't leave yet. Even Atletico got 40 or 50 million offers from him. He may need to accept personal terms as well. That might be holding it up. How Tuvid says agreed, like Mariba, but I don't really see anything special to even think that he's even though he had a bad attitude, we should take the risk and try to renew anyway. Yeah, if he wants to renew, sure, but if he's not going to have the right attitude, I don't think he's done enough to prove himself for him to hold us over the coals like this. So move along. Latoro Martinez rejected an Arsenal offer. That's good to know. I mean, listen, in the next year or two, we're going to need to sign a striker. Right now, our strikers are still Griezmann, Braithwaite, and Aguero. Aguero's got a year or two. Braithwaite's got a year or two. Griezmann has, 3 to 5, but we're going to need to bring in an elite young striker. It's going to have to happen as soon as we financially can. It's not going to be this year. Kima, did I see that Pjanic was seen crying when he knew he was going to play for Barcelona? Were like tears of joy or tears of sadness? And what I'll say with that is plenty of players come in and they're given every opportunity to win over the fans, to gain their support, and it doesn't happen. Talk to Antoine Griezmann. He's feeling it too. I think what Irish is talking about is that local guys like Phil Foden is a local Manchester guy. So a lot of the clubs, because of the historical ties to the local community, they love to see someone from that area make it through. It's kind of like what Atletico Bilbao does, but not to that extreme. Atletico Bilbao only has players that come from the Basque Country play for their club. So it hurts them in terms of bringing in talent from around the world, but it creates such dedication that it's hard to argue against the results sometimes. Front runners for Saul. This is not the Griezmann swap deal, though. We are not front runners for Saul. I think Man United and Bayern Munich are the front runners at this point. Hoppy to Barcelona. I don't know about that. I think Hoppy needs to stay at Schalke where he's at. I love the attitude that he's coming in with. He's got some swagger. He's got that tenacity. But if any Americans coming to Barcelona, you guys know who's coming. It's Wesson McKennie, my friends. That's the one. That's the one that we need at Barcelona. Tenacious midfielder, box to box. He'll go in for the tackles. He'll create the space offensively. He can finish goals. He can stop goals. Wesson McKennie, get him at Barcelona. Let's go. We got to fight for Haaland. Listen, the fact that Haaland didn't go anywhere this year, it opens it up. It opens it up for next year. Haaland, Mbappe, they all have, I think, 1 year left on their contract. Listen, if they don't sign anything new and they don't go anywhere in the next couple of weeks, that leaves things open for Barcelona to make a financial recovery this year and then get in there next year with some offers. You never know. You never know. Anyway, you guys thought I was going to go an episode without mentioning that Wesson McKennie needs to be at Barcelona. That was silly of you. It's like the number one theme of these morning shows right now. I'm not wrong, though. I'm not wrong. Wesson McKennie, Frankie de Jong, and Pedri. That's our midfield. That's our midfield, you guys. I'm telling you. Think Hoppy is a Barcelona fan? Maybe. How could you not be? Thierry Henry said it best. If you say that you love football, but you don't love Barcelona, then you have a problem. That's a quote from Thierry Henry. Could not have said it better myself. 100%. What's up next, friends? We've got Wake Up and Barca coming up. What's it called? You can turn that off. We got Wake Up and Barca on Wednesday. I want to thank everybody who's new to the channel. First of all, I know we got some new folks in here. Doodler, what's up, dude? Sneaking in just in time. How we doing? Do I like Coleman's 3-5-2 formation, which tries to strengthen our midfield? I do. I am a fan of that 3-5-2. I mentioned early there are rumors that Laporta is forcing Coleman to go back to that classic 4-3-3. That is the traditional Barcelona style and identity. That's what these guys all grew up with, the ones that have been with the club since La Masia. So that's what the reports are. I think our personnel last year, we were much better suited for that 3-5-2 formation. With the new signings, it gives us some different options. Maybe we can get back to that 4-3-3, fit it in that way. I think we need to be flexible, right? I think if matches go a certain way and we need to switch to that 3-5-2, I think it's a good option to have, but I also understand people's desire to have us to go back to that more, traditional 4-3-3. So for me, I'm thinking, given the injuries particularly, I think first match you're going to see you're going to see Depay, Griezmann, and Messi at the front three. You're going to see Pedri, Busquets, and De Jong in the midfield. You're going to see Alba, Araujo, Piqué, and Dest on the back four, and Ter Stegen in goal. I think that's the starting 11 for our first match on, August 15th. Either way, I'm getting excited, folks. I'm getting very excited for these matches because, listen, we got a puncher's chance, all right? I think we get a domestic double this year, and I think we hopefully have an exciting run in Champions League. That's what I'm looking for. That is what I'm looking for. Chelsea holding talks with Mariba. Have him. Have him, bro. Waiting for teams to release their kits so you can make the review video. Yeah, I want to do that probably next week or two would be nice. Get the wife on here finally, have her do a kit review. We'll see what happens. Depay and Griezmann killing it up front. Just add Messi and Pedri to it. I don't disagree. Pedri and Depay. Not Pedri and Depay. Sorry, I was just reading it. Griezmann and Depay. Someone mentioned it in the chat too, so shout out to whoever said it. Griezmann and Depay linking up pretty well. They're both very creative. I think that they could come in and establish some trust with each other. Griezmann saying, hey, people don't really trust and love me around here. You're new. Maybe we can be the best friends. You can see that happening. So I think Griezmann gets more starts than Aguero this year. I think Aguero was brought in really more for Copa del Rey and some super sub opportunities. I think Griezmann gets a start 8 times out of 10. Ahmad would take 70 to 90 million for Griezmann. Sure, except nobody's offering that, unfortunately. Barca needs to bring back old La Masia. Sure. Yep. And maybe when Pep Guardiola is ready to get out of Man City, he can come back, manage Barcelona B, turn things around for us. We'll see what happens. But that's going to be it for now, folks. So for everyone that what's up, Prahlad? How are we doing, friend? For everyone that is just joining for the first time, let me welcome you to the community. Go ahead and subscribe, turn on those notifications. We do Wake Up in Barca every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning right here on the Undefeated channel. We are mainly here, though, for the Barcelona live watch-along party. So we're just less than 2 weeks away from the start of the season. Who are we kicking things off against? I forget. Sociedad, perhaps? Could be wrong. But we'd have the live commentary. The chat will be going, so you can ask me questions. You can leave your comments for me to respond to. If you're not actually watching the match, I give you the play-by-play so you don't miss any of the action. Then we do a reaction video, and we're going to incorporate some pregame, some postgame stuff into these Wake Up in Barcas. And also, fun stuff, I just figured out yesterday how to create polls in here. So for Wednesdays, I plan on having just a couple of polls, make things a little bit more interesting, a little bit more interactive for you all. So let me know down in the comments, what else do you want to see in terms of content, in terms of engagement on this channel, because it's not just about me talking at you all. This really is about building the community, connecting folks around the world, all around that love for the Blaugranes. So thank you all very much for spending your morning with me. I appreciate you stopping in. Everybody, we got a lot of folks in here today, so I don't know if I can even do all the shout outs, but to all my regulars, thank you so much. To all the new folks, welcome to the community. Thank you for tuning in and taking a ride. We'll see y'all next time. Mwah.